Greetings everyone. In this video I want to talk about your soul cage. And is it you? What is it?
Greetings. This infinite source truth is made possible by the generous contributions and support of viewers like you. Please consider making a contribution now. Thank you.
So your soul cage, what is it? It is part of this secondary matrix game. It exists only in the secondary matrix game, this illusionary dream state that we are experiencing. Now, each source player had to have a soul cage to enter this game. Your soul cage is your DNA. Your soul contract is your script and your game. It is your agreement to play a certain character on this world stage in this secondary matrix. You agreed to accept the character and narrative that soul contract assigned to you. I have discussed soul contracts previously. Your soul cage contains your source self fractal. It only covers frequency levels 5 through 11. That soul cage only covers levels 5 through 11. So, if you are in the lower frequency zone with your other game pieces, which are your other frequency bodies, and they are not within your soul cage, and I should say that your soul cage only exists in now. This is why you must stay out of the past and the future and stay in your now, because the soul cage only exists in the now, in zones 5 through 11. What happens is you bring your frequency bodies into that soul cage and you unlock your script at level 5. And then you can climb through the frequency levels until you get outside of the box. Now, along this journey of the climb, you can increase your abilities and your empowerment along the way. Now, you are using your source fractal synergy cell when you are in the lower frequency red zones. You are drawing the synergy cell level down, which is the energy that is within that soul cage. Now, your energy level of your synergy cell must be at a certain level before you can even advance to unlock your script. Choices, choices, choices. Beneficial and non-beneficial choices. You see, you can do whatever you choose to do in this game. Everything is permissible, but not everything is beneficial. There's always choice and a consequence to that choice. Energy being the greatest valuable thing in this matrix illusion. Your energy. Because your energy creates your experience here. How you choose, what you think, what you dwell on, what you energize in your experience. It's an energy issue within you for your game. Your soul cage is not you. It is a game piece within this game. Only source players have soul cages. Only source players have souls. Everything else, the soulless ones, are simply computer programs that are running in the game simulation to give you their code, their program, their there to enhance your experience within this game, to challenge you, to see what you will do, what choices you will make, and how they can or you will allow them to affect your game. Now, some soulless ones are not so beneficial, and other soulless ones can assist you. To look at a soulless program as being a bad thing, there is no good nor bad in this game unless you believe there is, and then you create a lot of problems for yourself whenever you start thinking that way, because that's exactly what you need to get your mindset out of, into neutrality. You see, you should be raising your frequency enough that you can get the answers to these things. You see, you've got questions going on in your mind right now. You need to be raising your frequency so you can get access to the answers to these questions. You see, you will not receive the answers, even though they're here in this video or in any other video, until you're a frequency matched to them. Now, if you are watching these videos and you think that whatever you think, it doesn't matter, that's your game. Do you think I care? I don't care. I'm giving you the information that benefits you. Now, what you do with it, that's your game. That's your game. You see, I didn't have to share anything with any source player. I did the work. I did the work. I did the work to release my soul cage and to win the game for myself. It was never required me to share the win with any other source player. Never required. But you see, source is one. We are all one. This entire game is source. It is source playing with itself, entertaining itself, challenging itself. We created the matrix to experience this experience. You see, in source, source is only energy. In this game, we have manifested the energy into objects and things and a game, a scenario. Just like if you were to create a computer game, those things in that computer game don't exist. They're simply images on a screen. Well, this game is way higher tech. Actually, no tech, because but anything is possible in this game. But you have to know it. And you have to be a frequency match to it. You can't have a low frequency and expect high frequency outcomes. All right? And there's no fooling the system. There's no fooling the matrix. There's no fooling where your frequency level is at. Your frequency vibration determines where you are, what you can access, what is unlocked for you, and your empowerment in this game. It all comes together into a magnificent game, creative in the very greatest way within your game experience. You are the only one holding yourself back. The problem is so many source players want to blame everything outside of them, and that holds them back. It really does. And if you're living in yesterday, something that happened to you in a previous now, then you are not living in your now. If you're holding on to a grudge, if you're holding on to anything from the past, then you're not staying in your now. You know, it's an unusual thing. When you're so preoccupied with your now, you don't think about yesterday. You don't think about the future. You don't think about anything except for your now experience. When you're in that state of being, things line up and things flow. Things flow for you that you can't hardly even imagine how it flows and works for you. It's the old programming that wants to get in the way. And sabotage your game, your journey, your knowledge within this game. But your soul cage is just that. It's a cage. It's a golden cage of DNA. It is your contract, your soul contract. You agreed to a contract whenever you entered this game that soul cage, you signed the soul contract. The soul cage is the DNA. Your experience, the sum total of your experience within this secondary only exists in the secondary dream illusionary matrix that you're experiencing. It does not exist outside of this dream state illusion. It is what's keeping you here. It is what is holding you, your synergy cell within this game. It's holding your source fractal in that cage until your source self can manage to achieve getting all of its frequency bodies inside the soul cage with it, and can manage to complete the inner alchemy and unlock the top of the soul cage to set that source player's fractal free in this game. Once you open your soul cage, there's so much more to experience. More empowerment, more to experience, more to tap into in your creative abilities and skills. It all comes with maturity. It doesn't happen overnight, can't happen overnight. You would not be able to handle it if it could. It is a growth and a change of mind, making the best, most beneficial choices for yourself in this game. Now, only source players have soul cages. And if they're red zone source players, they have a soul cage because they're draining the energy out of it, but they're not in it. They have not joined into their source self. If they're in the red zone and they're in zones 4, 3, 4, you have really no source self connection. You have the ability to make intentional choices to raise your frequency into your soul cage and tap into the knowing that your source self can supply you with once you have the intent to do these things. But the intent has to be there. The intent has to be there. Half-hearted intent is worthless. You won't succeed at anything if you're half-hearted about it. But that's your choice. That's the wonder and beauty of this game, is that no one can make you do anything. No one can make you do anything. You see, nothing in this game can happen to you or touch you without your consent. And your consent is given by choices that you make and thoughts that you have. Truly. Whether you know that you're giving consent or not. Your mindset determines a lot about what you will experience in this game. And it determines what frequency level you can attain to. Because if you can't get your mind in control, well, you'll never win your game. You'll never experience your best life yet. So your soul cage is a game piece, the cage. You couldn't enter this game without it. It holds your source cell fractal and your synergy cell, And that contract determined who you would be and what character you would play on this stage. You can't change that until you raise your frequency to level 5 and unlock your script. You align your frequency bodies within your soul cage. And then you receive your source self-empowerment to continue to raise your frequency until you reach frequency level 11 and complete the inner alchemy, at which time you can then unlock your soul cage. All choices to be made. Will you get distracted by low frequency things? Or will you be able to release them and start experiencing the higher frequency things that you can experience in this game? Choices. Now, if you are benefited, you realize that you are benefiting from the work that I have accomplished in this game and have shared with you. That alone is enough reason to say thank you via gift via PayPal. And if you are getting even more out of these videos, then all the more you should be saying thank you via gift via PayPal. It is evidence of your frequency level. It's evidence of your frequency level and allowing flow in your life. And that's why I'm allowing that flow for you. The link is in the description box below. Abundance, health, and prosperity to you.